Guys, I might have been wrong yesterday with my video. Bitcoin might be right now preparing for a massive short squeeze to the upside. And I'm gonna show you proof where this short squeeze is coming from through multiple charts and also a lot of other indicators that I have found today that are pointing to that massive short squeeze that might be looming right now in the shadows. And if you want to know the exact targets that I'm looking at for that short squeeze and where it might be potentially happening, then stick around here, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, you like this video, and also activate the bell so that you will never miss out on this really important updates. And now let me get into it. So I'm gonna start off with the USDT dominance. I want to show you actually this chart here first. So what you can see here on the chart, if you watch here my channel for a little bit, you have seen this chart before. You can see that here in this sharp drop, along that trend line here, this downward sloping trend line, we got really close to break above that. So you cannot really see that here because it's too small. That's why I want to show you another chart in a second. But we actually did not confirm that break above the trend line because that would have been super bearish for the Bitcoin price. It would have been super bearish because here a breakout above that trend line would mean that we have topped out and the Bitcoin price would start declining. So now here is a zoomed in chart, just the USDT dominance. So you see we are right now getting kind of rejected from the trend line, and that's what we want to see. We want to close that candle that we have right now here on the daily chart beneath that trend line to solidify the scenario that we are not seeing here a break above that trend line with further upside. It's going from Bitcoin and other coins back into USDT, and they're parking it there for the right moment to deploy it again. That's why I don't want to see that. Now, when we're looking at Bitcoin at the CME chart, we still have this CME gap up here from 38,365 to 38,530. So this is still here. I put it on a 50 minutes chart so that you can see it a little bit better. But what you can also already see here is that we have here a resistance level, and that gets also on the futures chart right now retested. And that is around $37,700, more or less, give it a take. So if we break this on the futures chart, we might see a quick move actually to the CME gap all the way up there. Then when we are going to this 4-hourly Bitcoin chart here on BYBIT, here I want to show you something really interesting, and that is that the last time that when Bitcoin had a move here in October to the upside and was creating here, was it? Yes, so we created here a higher high, the same what we did up here. Afterwards, we had a small correction to the downside and then a consolidation phase before we got the next leg to the upside. So why do I believe that we are right now potentially in a small consolidation phase? So it doesn't have to be as long as here, it can be shorter. So it could also already end here. So we have to see how long it's going to take. But the important thing that I want to point out here is that here the volatility index was in this time at one of its lowest points ever before we saw that big move to the upside. Now, what do we see? Again, lowest point, same low point like here. The volatility has to come back at some point. So we have super low volatility right now. And once the volatility is coming back, we're going to see a massive move in Bitcoin. And right now, everything is indicating that this move will be to the upside. Why do I say that? Because also here the historical volatility is trying to break bullish here, with that moving average being crossed by the historical volatility index in red. And once every time when they are crossing in that manner, it's bullish. So when the volatility index is under the moving average here and is breaking above that moving average, then that is a bullish signal and is indicating that momentum is to the upside. So I give you here an example. Let me give you here this example. So you see here, we broke above it, went to the upside. What happened here? Price action, we broke and went to the upside. Same thing along that price action. So, and that's why if we close the next 4-hourly candle in actually 7 minutes, in that way that it is, then we will most likely see here continuation in the price already right now. Then when we are going to the liquidations levels here again, so what we can see here, we have now more and more high leverage shorts piling up just above us, which makes it really attractive to push the price rather sooner than later to the upside. The only thing that needs to happen for that, in my opinion, is that we have to break this downward sloping trend line. And we are about to break it right now as we speak. Once we see that pop here, we might snap immediately to $38,300. That might be a trade that you have to take quite quickly if the video comes out in a timely manner for that. I cannot promise you that. But yeah, if it comes out in a timely manner, then you should get ready for a nice long opportunity here. Because I believe if we break this downward sloping trend line and we break here this horizontal trend line, that we actually gonna snap to $40,000 potentially today. Something else that I want to show you why I believe that the momentum is definitely to the upside with everything that I've shown you, and why I believe that there is a short squeeze right now in the making is when I go here again to the liquidation heat map on CoinGlass. So remember yesterday I showed you that there were like around $50 million worth of liquidations piling up above us. That has completely changed. It's insane how much money is right now above us to be taken in short liquidity. So we have here almost $200 million that we can take in short liquidity at $37,650, and just under us at $37,473 approximately is another $93.5 million to be taken. So here's almost $400 million worth of short liquidations. Yeah, no, there is over 400. There's almost $500 million worth of short liquidations that can be taken here if we push the price a little bit to the upside. So if we get that kind of short squeeze into these levels, that will be so much fuel that this can catapult us to potentially even $39,000, and then we get rejected from there, consolidate then in the $38,000 range until we have again enough fuel to go to $40,000 and above. So when we're looking then here to the downside, you see there's not as much as liquidity stacked than to the upside. So here's maybe, let me count it. Yeah, let's say 470. So because it's like the same move. So if I go here to the upside, it's way more. So there's like, if I go here into this cluster, because I went quite low here, if I touch here also this cluster, then we are like almost at $1 billion of short liquidations once we start pushing the price. You have to understand how much money that is and how fast that can pump Bitcoin into insane levels. And that's why I'm saying that we could see a $40,000 move if we go and liquidate all these shorts here to the upside. Then when we are looking here on this 4-hourly chart, remember guys, I always told you, as long as we are holding the support resistance flip zone, this is always a good long opportunity. If you went long here, congratulations. I didn't. Then you are already in really, really nice profits, and you can keep riding that to the upside. So I should have actually go long here, but I was out of the office for the last, I don't know, I was out for at least the last 5-6 hours. So that's why I could not take that trade once it presented itself with that with the current 4-hourly candle. So that would have been the perfect entry to move here to the upside. But regardless, I want to give you the next trading opportunity so that you can take advantage of the next move that is here looming for Bitcoin already. So, and if you're watching my channel at least for 3 months, you can spot the pattern already that I'm pointing out now. And that is here a W pattern. And that is a textbook W pattern, because we have here our lower low, here a higher low for that W pattern, and we are approaching the neckline right now. So if here on this 1-hourly chart, if we are breaking the neckline at $37,350 approximately, we can expect a move to almost $38,000 to the upside. So $700 move, which will give us 1.7%. If you trade this with 25x leverage, that is approximately 40% in profit that you can bank here on that specific trade. So that is also the next trade that I'm personally looking at to take here. The only thing that I'm waiting for is that the neckline gets broken and that at least on the 15 minutes we get a retest and then continue to the upside. So I'm looking here on the 15 minutes chart for a retest on that neckline. There I want to get in. Once we popped above it, again, I'm gonna explain it again. So I want to see that pop above the neckline. Then I want to see it coming back to test it, and then it should move away. So and on that retest is when I'm going to buy in. So and my stop loss will be at 37,150. So a really tight stop loss. That's a $200 stop loss with a $700 move. That's a 1-to-3 risk to reward ratio. That's absolutely fine for a trade like this. Quick here on the daily chart. On the daily chart, we might have now completed that correction here according to that fractal, which is absolutely fine. So and then also today we should see a move here to the upside. Remember guys, Tuesdays is normally always a day where we move to the upside. Overall, the American market is not open yet. I'm thinking if the American market is open yet. No, I think in an hour the US session is opening. So the US session should push Bitcoin here to the upside. And guys, don't forget, if you want to trade, do it on BYBIT. You still get $30,000 with that specific link here. There you can trade all the trade calls that I give you absolutely for free, or on BitGet, $30,000 plus 20% on your initial deposit, and the 20% that you get on top can be used for trading purposes. And whatever you make on these trades, that profit can be then withdrawn. And also on Phemex, if you are especially in the US, again, you know what to do if you're in the US and you want to use an exchange. Go to Phemex. It's also an amazing exchange that you can use if you're in a restricted country right now. So let me move on here to daily chart here for Bitcoin. We got a beautiful retest of the EMA ribbon. Now we try to reclaim that resistance level of $37,405. Here, what we see on the indicators, that could have been also just a massive fake out. So because we are here intertwining again with the trend and the signal line on the stochastic RSI. So potentially if we move a little bit higher today, we're gonna actually get that pinch here to the upside. The RSI is already going sideways, so it's neutral, and the MACD will also make a turnaround once the stochastic RSI gets the pinch to the upside. So and again, that can all be happening today with a massive move to the upside, potentially in the US session in around an hour or 2 hours approximately. Then I want to talk about the Bitcoin dominance. So the Bitcoin dominance has broken this downward sloping trend line. But remember guys, I told you around 53%, I was looking for a rejection. That's also what we are seeing right now, that the dominance gets rejected from there, from that level, and above at 53.5%. That would be the next level where I would expect a rejection. So for now, that's fine. If we see this candle as it is closing, then the next one will be most likely the nail in the coffin and turn out to be bearish with a move to the downside. Then we have a reversal pattern here, a candlestick reversal pattern that then indicates that the dominance will continue to drop here to the downside. So of course we can push higher again if Bitcoin goes today for that short squeeze to the upside. Then be prepared that the dominance will see a break here to like 53.5 or even touch on the 54% level. I want to talk about also quick the total market cap for the whole crypto market. So we have held really nicely $1.37 trillion yesterday. We can see that today's total market cap is already moving back to the upside a little bit. So we got here a small dip and now we are going back to the upside. So I would like to see to close today at $1.39-1.4 trillion with continuation then here to the upside. When we're looking at Ethereum, here again a potential fake out. Remember guys, I had warned you about this. We got here a fake out along the trend line. We got here a fake out along the trend line. And this here is potentially another fake out along the trend line. So the only thing that I would like to see to confirm this is that the price action is breaking back above the trend line and is staying at least for, let's say 12 hours in that range, and then we most likely gonna see anyway a push into the resistance of $2,140. So yeah, in this current 4-hourly candle, I would like to see a push here above that upward sloping trend line to confirm that this whole thing here was a fake out. If we don't get it within the next 12 hours that the day has left, then we have to maybe change our stance here and reevaluate if we might actually see Ethereum go lower from here, if we cannot reclaim that upward sloping trend line potentially today. Guys, that's it for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. Please make sure to smash up the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you then again tomorrow.